History, a paramount priority for progress of a people. Arguably the most important cultural property. It is the great unifier of a people. It is the shining beacon that restores vision to the blind. It is imperative that we learn from it, that we may emulate its successes and create a unified effort to prevent repeating its mistakes. For without history, we are without purpose. We are without identity. Welcome to the gray area, where we examine history in hindsight. January 5th, 1781, Richmond, Virginia is burned to the ground by a British naval expedition led by none other than Benedict Arnold, a defector from America to Britain. 1804, Ohio legislature passed the first of a succession of the Northern Black Laws, which restricted the rights and movement of free blacks in the North. Most northern states passed black laws. Constitutions of 3 states, Illinois, Indiana, Oregon, all barred black settlers. 1896, it was reported by the Austrian newspaper that Wilhelm Röntgen had discovered the type of radiation that would become known as X-rays. 1900, in Ireland, nationalist leader John Edward Redmond called for a revolt against British rule, which would eventually lead to Ireland gaining its independence. 1911, at Indiana University, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated was founded by Elder W. Diggs, Byron K. Armstrong, John M. Lee, Harvey T. Asher, Marcus P. Blakemore, Guy L. Grant, Paul Kane, and George W. Edmonds, Ezra D. Alexander, and Edward G. Irvin. 1914, Ford Motor Company announces that there would be a new daily minimum wage of $5 per day. 1919, German Workers' Party forms, which is a precursor to the Nationalist Socialist German Workers' Party. Today you know them as Nazis. 1925, Miss Nellie Taylor Ross was sworn in as the governor of Wyoming. She was the first female governor in the United States. 1933, in California, the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge began. 1943, William H. Hastie, former dean of Howard University and civilian aide to the Secretary of War during World War II, resigned to protest segregation and discrimination in the armed forces. His protest would come to the ears of Army General Dwight David Eisenhower, 5-star general in the Army, and served as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe. He was responsible for planning and supervising the invasion of North Africa in Operation Torch between 1942 and 1943, and the successful invasion of Normandy between 1944 and 1945. Eisenhower vehemently agreed with William H. Hastie and called on the complete desegregation of the military, though his requests were denied via being superseded by the Congress when he became the 34th President of the United States from 1953 to 1961. He did what was denied by Congress. He desegregated the United States Armed Services. That same year, George Washington Carver died. George Washington Carver, born 1861 near Diamond Grove, Missouri, died January 5th, 1943. in Tuskegee, Alabama. He was an American agriculturalist, agricultural chemist, agronomist, and experimenter, whose development of new products derived from a variety of plants that would go on to revolutionize the agricultural industry and the economy. For most of his career, he taught and conducted research at the Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute, now Tuskegee University.
Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You've all that the greatest of men have had. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment, they all began. So start for the top and say, I can. Look them over, the wise and great. They take their food from the common plate. And similar knives and forks they use, with similar laces to tie their shoes. The world considers them brave and smart, but you've all they had when they made their start. You can triumph and come to skill. You can be great if you only will. You're well equipped for what fight you choose. You've legs and arms and a brain to use. And the man who has risen great deeds to do began his life with no more than you. You are the handicap, you must say. You are the one who must choose your place. You must say where you want to go, how much you will study the truth to know. God has equipped you for life, but he lets you to decide what you want to be. Courage must come from the soul within. The man must furnish the will to win. So figure it out for yourself, my lad. You are born with all that the great have had. With your equipment, they all began. Get hold of yourself and say, I can.
I am not sure that I am worthy of this splendid citation, but I wish to say also that I thank you from the depths of my heart.
Having left a strong presence on many people, Carver died by falling from his house's staircase on January 5, 1943. However, George Washington Carver left this world as a legacy, and several monuments have been made after him, including one at Diamond, Missouri, where he was born. January 5th, officially and unofficially, is known as George Washington Carver Day, in honor of the brilliant agricultural chemist who died on this day in 1943. Nicknamed the Peanut Man and the Wizard of Tuskegee, and still one of the most prominent scientists to this day. He was renowned for finding new uses for everyday items. Carver's research and improved farming techniques and helped to revolutionize farming, synthetic materials and polymers, and mass production techniques for textiles, plastics, and the automotive industries. He once wrote, "I wanted to know the name of every stone and flower and insect and bird and beast. Not just America, but the world owes him a debt of gratitude." You see, history, much like time, waits for no man. It is up to us to decide whether we choose to make it or be the reason we repeat it. However, we can only learn from it by looking at history in hindsight.